Hi everybody, I'm Dawn Myford. Thanks so much for joining me on Here's the Deal. So it's the morning after the debate, and I've been up since 5 a.m. going through every site I can find and found lots of documentation. I've got all the paperwork to prove it on the multiple lies that Mitt Romney told last night. But I've had a change of heart. A Facebook friend, who I don't really consider to be a friend in my personal life, this morning was ranting and raging about gays and lesbians buying Obama's line and how he panders to us and that the gay and lesbian community essentially discuss her. So this is a woman that describes herself as a dyke living here in Texas. I'm going to say her name is Cindy. So for all of you out there, GOP proud, log cabin Republicans, let's be really clear on the people, with the people that are on our side and the people that are not on our side. It's really simple to tell from Republicans' actions. They are not a friend of the gay and lesbian community. Let's look at some of Mitt Romney's statements that have happened very, very recently. Romney said, and I state, "I vow to support a federal marriage amendment." People, that is a constitutional amendment to discriminate and exclude LGBT people. It would be the first time in the history of this country that the Constitution would ever be amended to exclude people, not include people. He goes on to say that he would defend DOMA, which is the Defense of Marriage Act, which the Justice Department right now under President Obama has stopped defending DOMA. He would appoint anti-gay judges and overturn marriage equality in Washington, D.C. There are 650,000 same-sex couples right now living in this country, raising about 150,000 children. Those families do not have the legal protection of straight, heterosexual married couples. Not only do they not have the laws to support their family in more than 30 states, they do not have the federal recognition around tax, which means gays and lesbians are paying significantly higher tax rates than their straight married counterparts. Now, another thing that I want to talk about on this point is that 37 states have signed into law to prohibit gays from marrying right now. 37 states. Many of them are trying to amend their state constitution for exclusion. However, on a positive note, 54% of Americans today agree that every American should have the right to be married if they so choose. Now, a lot of the arguments that we hear from the right in opposition of gay marriage are arguments that we heard in the 60s in opposition to interracial marriage. As a matter of fact, I want to take you down memory lane here for just a second. In 1958, 94% of Americans opposed interracial marriage, 50 short years ago. Another quote by Romney: "I don't see the need for new or special legislation. ENDA, the Employment Non-Discrimination Act, would be an overly broad law that would open a litigation floodgate and unfairly penalize employers. I do not support it." Well, Mr. Romney, ENDA is protecting many gay and lesbian people from being fired from their jobs or evicted from their homes. As a matter of fact, today, in 30 states, business owners still have the right to fire someone strictly because they're gay or lesbian. In most of those same states, gays and lesbians can also be denied housing, and they have absolutely no legal recourse. Next quote from Romney: "Don't ask, don't tell has worked well. We're in the middle of a conflict. I don't have a policy posture as to allowing gays in the military to serve there openly. It doesn't work." Well, let's be clear. When you've got bullets going whizzing by your head at 100 miles an hour, most of the soldiers in the trenches have said they don't care what the sexuality is of the person next to them, as long as the person next to them is doing their job. Under Don't Ask, Don't Tell, many gay and lesbian service members with families chose to keep their home life completely separate from their military life. They also faced investigation for actions such as listing a dependent child or partner on their military paperwork. All of that has now come to an end, and gays and lesbians serve openly and proudly in our military, and we should applaud them. Let's be really clear on the history of gays and lesbians and the world. When you look at who has contributed to this world in a very, very big way, names like Plato, Michelangelo, Alexander the Great, Richard the Lionhearted, Hans Christian Andersen, and Peter the Great were all documented gay men. So to say that homosexuality has only existed in modern society is just another great lie told by the right. So to people like Cindy, a Republican dyke that has no room in her life for Barack Obama, I say this to you. You move on with your life and your ignorance and your support of a party that wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire, and tens of thousands of hardworking gay and lesbian individuals will continue to push for full equality that you one day will be able to enjoy. Thanks so much. I'm Dawn Meifert, and this has been Here's the Deal.